He had been watching them for weeks. But watching was no longer enough. Daniel needed to understand something no podcast had ever taught him. He needed to understand why. Welcome back to Elite POV. This is Series 3. Here's what you missed. Daniel spent 6 years cleaning Meridian Tower at night while secretly learning business and finance. 3 words on an executive whiteboard got him a meeting with the CEO. After that, he began sitting outside every evening watching the executives leave, studying their patterns, writing everything down. Then one Thursday, an executive stopped, turned around, and held eye contact with him across the street. Daniel wrote one word on a fresh page. Why? Why did the quietest ones carry the most power? Why did they talk about losses the way most people talked about lessons? He had learned the theory. Now he needed the culture, the unspoken rules, the conversations that never made it into any book. So Daniel made a move that took everything he had. He requested a shift change. Instead of cleaning the upper floors at night, he asked to work the ground floor executive lounge in the early evening, right when the executives were having their last conversations of the day. His supervisor raised an eyebrow, but said yes. And just like that, Daniel was no longer watching from across the street. He was in the room. If this story is giving you chills, you are exactly where you need to be. Subscribe to Elite POV and turn on notifications because every part of this series is a lesson hiding inside a story. Do not miss what is coming next. He kept his head down, moved slowly, stayed invisible, but his ears were wide open. He heard executives talk about deals not as risks, but as calculations. He heard them laugh about losses because they had already planned for them. Then he heard one man say something that stopped him cold. The goal is never the money. The money is just proof that the thinking was right. Daniel set down his cloth, walked to the supply closet, wrote that down word for word. He filled that notepad in 2 weeks. Then another, and another. He was not just learning anymore. He was becoming. Then one evening the lounge emptied early. Daniel was finishing up alone when the door opened behind him. He turned around. It was the executive, the one who had smiled at him across the street. He sat down at the table Daniel had just cleaned, looked up, and said something Daniel never expected. I have been watching you too. Daniel stood completely still. What came next would change everything. Part 4 is coming. This is Elite POV, and Daniel is just getting started.